Top stories on the brief this hour. Nigerian workers and indeed labor unions may have to wait some more to know what the federal government's new minimum wage will be. Well, this is because the Federal Executive Council has stepped down consideration and deliberations on the memo of the new national minimum wage to allow President Tinubu more time for consultations before presenting it to the National Assembly. The Minister of Information disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents on the decisions taken at the council meeting.
There was a memo to discuss that at the Federal Executive Council meeting. I want to inform Nigerians here that the Federal Executive Council deliberated on that, and the decision is that because the new national minimum wage is not just that of the federal government, it is an issue that involves the federal government, the state governments, local governments, and the organized private sector, and of course including the organized labor. That memo was stepped down to enable Mr. President to consult further, especially with the state governors and the organized private sector, before he makes a presentation to the National Assembly.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, says Nigeria's finances are being overhauled with a positive balance despite outstanding debts. He was speaking after the week's Federal Executive Council meeting, which took place at the presidential villa Abuja. The minister said the federal government does not rely on ways and means in order to fund itself and is also reducing its debt burden.
The total debt stock of Nigeria in US dollar terms fell by 15%. That is very positive. We are focused on ensuring that the revenue that is due to the federal government is collected robustly using technology, avoiding the blockages which manual processing can cause, and it has led to a very robust revenue effort. We do not rely on ways and means to pay salaries. We don't rely on it to pay debt service, external debt servicing, or other obligations. That is the situation. The finances of Nigeria have been revamped. The glass is half full.
From the executive to the legislature, where a public hearing of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts took a sad turn when a deputy controller of the Nigerian Customs, Mr. Etopesian, slumped and died while responding to questions from the members of the committee. A statement from the House spokesman, Akin Rotimi, says the officer suddenly developed health complications and was rushed to the National Assembly Clinic, where he eventually died. The committee has resolved to suspend hearings for a week in his honor. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has condoled with the Nigerian Customs Service over the passing of Deputy Controller Essien. While extending his heartfelt condolences to the family of Deputy Controller Essien, he described his passing while on an official assignment as most distressing. Also to politics in River State, police authorities in the state have declared a former Niger Delta militant leader, Gabriel General Asabuja, wanted. The River State Commissioner for Police, Mr. Tudi Disu, said this when he appeared on Channels Television's program Politics Today. Asabuja was seen in a viral video making some strong comments amid local government council crisis. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police had earlier assured residents of the state that the Nigerian police will continue to maintain law and order while addressing a solidarity march by members of the National Youth Council of Nigeria.
My duty as a policeman is to protect lives and properties. And I give you my word that we are going to continue to protect lives and properties. We are not politicians. We will do our best not to join their politics. At thank you so much for all you have done, for the support you have given us. I assure you that we'll continue to do our jobs of maintaining law and order. Thank you. Rivers State is a very, very important state to the economy of our great nation, Nigeria, and there must not be breakdown of law and order. I thank you so much for all you have done. I thank you for coming to see us today. I've taken note of everything you have said. We will continue to maintain law and order. And whenever we do any mistake, do not hesitate to tell us so that we can correct any mistake we have done.
To politics now, members of the Nigeria Labour Congress National Transition Committee went en masse to the headquarters of the Labour Party in Abuja, demanding the immediate resignation of the national chairman of Labour Party, Mr. Julius Saburi. The acting chairman of the Transition Committee, Mr. Abdulwahid Omar, who led the members of the Labour Union to the Secretariat, was seen chanting solidarity songs and calling for the resignation of Mr. Aburi on the grounds that his tenure as the chairman of the party has expired. However, the protesters were dispersed by policemen as the unions attempted to breach the gate of the Secretariat.
The tenure of Abure has expired by the 10th of this month, and there's no way we will allow vacuum. And the stakeholders unanimously decided to set up a National Transition Committee whose duty is only to conduct elections, congresses from the ward level to local government level to state levels, and it will culminate into a national convention that will be free, fair, and transparent.
The 2023 presidential candidate of the party, Mr. Peter Obi, was at the Secretariat to meet with the National Working Committee of the party, and he meets with the NLC officials. Here's what he said.
They should disperse them again. These people who are outside are members of the family who we must reconcile with. We must all sit down in the table and decide the future of our family. And that's what we are doing.
And to security now, armed bandits on Tuesday attacked a mosque in Tazame community under Bungadi local government area of Zamfara state. The spokesperson of the state police command, ASP Yazid Abubakar, while confirming the attack, said 2 persons were killed, while yet to be ascertained a number of others were kidnapped. He said the command has deployed reinforcements to the area to restore normalcy. A resident of the area who pleaded anonymity for security reasons told Channels Television that the bandits stormed the community when they were preparing for early morning prayers. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has ordered a final forfeiture to the federal government, the sum of $1.4 million linked to former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Justice Ayokunle Faji made the order after hearing an application filed and argued by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to grant the final forfeiture order of the money said to be domiciled in an account number in Titan Trust Limited to the Nigerian government. The order is coming a few days after another judge of the same court, Justice Chukwujeku Aneke, ordered the final forfeiture of over 12 billion naira money and properties linked to Mr. Emefiele. From a former governor of the CBN to a current governor, Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, who says the volatility in the foreign exchange market has calmed down and liquidity has returned to the market. During an interview with Bloomberg in London, while sharing key insights on the current state of the market, he added that the Apex Bank is determined to tame inflation through conventional methods. Mr. Cardoso noted that deceleration in the month-on-month inflation rates highlights a positive development. He also assured that the Monetary Policy Committee members remained vigilant in monitoring inflation trends and ensuring a moderation of inflation numbers. And now to sports. Euros 2024 is still on. There's been lots of action. England moved into the competition's last 16 at the top of Group C, but it was only achieved after another underwhelming display with a draw against Slovenia in Cologne. Well, Denmark's 0-0 draw with Serbia means they finished second, and Slovenia qualify as one of the best third-place teams. Elsewhere, a masked Kylian Mbappe scored his first ever Euros goal, but France were held to a draw by an already eliminated Poland to finish second in Group D. And Ralf Rangnick's Austria produced a fantastic display to beat the Netherlands 3-2 and top the group, while the Dutch took third place, also qualified by being placed third best. Now, those are the top stories at this hour.